Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well and teach well while learning truth 100% according to the Bible. I also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophets, servants scattered abroad the four corners of the earth, and shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you few sisters out there that are sincere, your children, shalom. And in today's video, as you can see, is going to be building off of this video I got here from the brother that he posted, where you basically got the digital ID that's being rolled out in Illinois, right? So we're just going to get straight into the video. We're going to allow it to play, and then I grab a few precepts. And Lord's willing to be edifying. But with that being said, fair use. I'm not getting paid for this video. This is for educational purposes only, fair use.
Starting tomorrow, for the first time ever, Illinoisans will be able to add their driver's license or state ID directly to their Apple Wallet. To get started, open Apple Wallet, tap the plus button, select driver's license or state ID, and follow the quick steps. Scan your card, take a selfie, and you're done. Apple and our office don't track when or where you use it. Your privacy is protected by design. Only the information needed for a transaction is presented, and you have the opportunity to review and authorize the information being requested with Face ID or Touch ID before it is shared. If a bar or concert venue only needs to confirm you're over 21, that's all they see. Not your address, not your license number, not even your birthday. Starting
right. And you hear what it is that the guy is saying, man. And that's exactly what they're going to do when they implement in this MOTB, because we know ultimately that the digital ID itself is not the charagma, but it's setting the stage for the MOTB. That's why it tells us right here in Psalms 55. And I'm going to grab verse 21, and I'm reading in KJV. It says, the words of his mouth, right? Talking about the words of who? Esau, Edom, man. These devils were smoother than butter. Yeah, it sound good, you see, because like I said, he's bringing out this digital ID, and he's trying to make it appear, though, to the people that it's something good, like it's something that they ultimately want to receive. It's going to be better for their lives. It's going to make everything more easier. It's going to be more secure for your bank, your cards, and things like that. You know, he's going to paint the picture of it of being like the best thing in the world. But really, like I said, this is all deception, because it's setting the stage for the MOTB, because that's what's ultimately all of this stuff that we see happening is alluding to, you see? So it says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Yeah, his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawing swords. Yep, because at the end of the day, the only thing that this devil wants to get is complete control over the people, mainly over you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you see? So like I said, he's going to present this digital ID as something, you know, beneficial to your lives, man. But like I said, eventually it's only a matter of time till the MOTB comes, man, right? So, yeah, we're going to get back into the video, right?
tomorrow, you'll be able to use your mobile ID at O'Hare, Midway, and Lambert airports, and at over 250 airports nationwide. We're also working with stadiums, restaurants, and retailers across the state to expand the number of businesses and venues accepting mobile ID in the coming months. This will soon go beyond Apple Wallet to include Google and Samsung Wallet, so that every Illinoisan with a smartphone can benefit from this breakthrough, regardless of their device.
So can we please talk about this digital ID that's going around, please? Because I'm confused. Everybody is saying that, like, I'm reading the comments and everyone is saying it's the mark of the beast. I thought the mark of the beast was supposed to be on your forehead or in your hand. Technically, like, when you hold your phone, it's in your right hand, but what if you were lefty and it's in your left hand? So ain't it supposed to be on your forehead? I'm confused. Like, isn't it supposed to be like an actual, like, mark? Why are people saying that the ID is the mark of the beast? Stop scaring me, please.
Right. And you hear what it is that Eve is saying. And yeah, like I said, we know that the digital ID is not the MOTB, because, you know, the RFID microchip is the MOTB. You see, the device that's the size of a grain of rice, you know, the RFID, you know, radio frequency identification device, man, that's the MOTB. But like I said, this digital ID is just, you know, setting the tone for what's coming, right? And that's why, as it tells us right here, let me grab this precept real quick. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, and I'm going to read verse 11. In the KJV, it says, "Lest Satan," meaning our adversary Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, should get an advantage of us, right? For we are not ignorant of his devices. Yeah, we're not ignorant of his devil's schemes, his tricks, his plots, you know, his tactics, all of the different things that he's using. You see, we understand that this man speaks with a forked tongue, you see, and we know what everything is ultimately leading to. So we're not, you know, deceived, with all of the stuff that we see this devil doing, because we know prophecy, man. And we know that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to bring forward this MOTB because, hey, it's the words of the Lord. It's going to stand. It's going to happen. It's going to come, right? As it tells us right here, let me grab Habakkuk chapter 2. And I read verse 3 in the KJV as well. It says, for the vision, which are the prophecies, is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. I'm going to read that same precept, but I'm going to read it in NLT, right? And it says this vision is for a future time. It describes the end and it will be fulfilled. Yeah. So, hey, this MOTB is going to come, man, real soon. And we definitely living in a time and seasons where we see it about to manifest. That's why it's no coincidence you got everybody going digital. You see all of these countries throughout the world, they're all, going digital, man. They're all setting up their digital ID systems. They're all, setting up digital currency type infrastructures and things like that, because it's all, like I said, leading to the charagma, So it said this vision is for a future time. It describes the end and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. Yeah, man. You see, because these are the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. If the Lord said that something is going to happen, it's definitely going to come to pass, right? Because as it tells us right here, let me grab that. Isaiah chapter 55, right? And I'll read verse 11. And it says, so shall my word, meaning the prophecies, be that goeth forth out of my mouth. Who's the mouthpiece of the Lord? The prophets. Starting out with the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone and the affiliates that are teaching the same doctrine. We're warning you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, both men and women, what's coming down the pipeline. We're telling you that, this device is coming soon, man. That this devil's going to make it mandatory that you won't be able to buy and sell except you have this implantable device. That's coming, you see? And like I said, we see the stage being set for it, So it says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, meaning empty, right? Because these things are going to happen, right? This chip is going to come. It says, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Yeah. So, hey, the words of the Lord are going to stand, man. So, like I said, we're definitely in that time where, this MOTB is about to make itself known real soon, man. Right. That's why you're going to see this digital ID system just continue to keep rolling from city to city, state to state in America, man. Right. Because they started out with Illinois, and it's only a matter of time before it be in various other states and to ultimately all 50 states. And we already see what's going on in Britain. You got the guy Keir Starmer. He actually came out and told people that if they want to work in Britain, that ultimately you got to have this digital ID. And that same type of setup coming to Babylon the Great as well, which is America. They're going to tell you people that if you want to be able to, go to the store and stuff like that, you're going to have to take this digital ID. And like I said, that just setting the stage for when they bring the MOTB. Like I said, it's gradualism, man, right? And let me grab the meaning to that word gradualism, because this is what we see them doing. You see, they're basically bringing it in, but they're doing it in baby steps, And the meaning to the word gradualism, I got it on the chat GPT. It says gradualism generally means change happening slowly, right? So the change is already happening, but it's occurring in baby steps, slowly. It says the change happening slowly and steadily over time, right? Rather than in sudden jumps. The exact meaning depends on the field. Yeah. So like I just read, ultimately we're on the timing of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and these devils are as well. They can't make the move and bring this prophecy to pass until the Lord allows it. That's why they're only doing it in baby steps. But when the Lord allows this prophecy to come to pass, it's going to happen, right? And like I said, we're in the times and seasons now where we see it about to manifest, so it's only a matter of time, man. Right. So I'm gonna get back into the video and we're going to finish watching some of it. Right.
But I ain't gonna lie, that is crazy. I had seen a video of in the UK or whatever that you can't work if you do not have a digital ID. What is this? What is going on? Okay, if this comes to the US, I've been seeing that Apple is starting it or whatever. If this comes to the US, how about we just not work, right? How about we just not go to work, you guys? Let's collectively not go to work. I'm being so serious. I'm being so serious. If you guys follow this, please, let's just not work. Simple, right? Right?
Because now it's time for digital ID. Okay, 17 countries have rolled out or passed digital ID laws in the last 3 months.
Can you do me a favor and explain to me what digital ID is first?
It's implemented in stages, though, too. So it's implemented in
Right. And we hear what it is the guy is saying just for the little bit of the video I did a lot of play. Yeah, and like I said, you got a lot of these countries, they're on this digital ID system. You know, you got Mexico that just rolled it out. You got Canada, you got the UK, you got China. I mean, various other different places, man. You know, a lot of countries, man, because we know ultimately, as the scriptures have said, this is going to come upon all the world to try them that dwell therein. That's why we see everybody going digital, because like I said, it's all alluding to the MOTB, right? And I'm actually grab that real quick. We're going to go to Revelation chapter 13, and I'll start at verse 16. It says, and he, who is that he? That's talking about these elites, man. Esau, Edom, the head banker families, you know, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Gettys, you know, the Vanderbilts, those that are in power, right? As it tells us in Job 9:24, the earth is given over to the hand of the wicked. They're the ones that ultimately want to implant this chip inside of everybody. They're the ones that want to be like the Most High. They're the ones that want to, you know, rule over the earth. You know, but the Lord is going to stop these devils. And we know that the Lord's remnant, the elect, they're not going to take this implantable device. You're going to have a lot of people that's going to take it, right? 2/3 of Jake, these heathens. But Lord's willing, we be the elect. We know, you know, they're not going to take it, right? But it says, and he calls them all, that meaning everybody, because it's going to come upon the whole world, both small and great, right? Rich and poor, free and bond. Right. So it doesn't matter, you know, your age. It doesn't matter if you're in jail or you're free. It doesn't matter if you're poor. It doesn't matter whatever you may be in, whatever the situation may be. Guess what? You're going to be tested with this mark. Right. Because it's going to come upon all us, man. It says to receive a mark. Right. Meaning charagma in the Greek, in their right hand or in their foreheads. Right. Verse 17. And it says, and that no man, right, might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So, hey, that's what's coming, man. You see, like I said, you won't be able to buy and sell in this devil's, you know, digital society that he's setting up. You know, this is what's coming, right? And, you know, that's why we warn our people and tell them these things, because, you know, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to bring this prophecy to pass, man. And those that take this charagma, you know, you're going to be destroyed, man, because there's definitely going to be, you know, a consequence for, you know, receiving this thing, man. That's why we ultimately don't want to take it when it comes, you know. So let me grab Revelation chapter 14, you know, because we got to always bring out the judgment for the people that take this chip. Because, hey, if you take it, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to destroy you, mainly for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, right, which makes up the biblical Hebrew Israelites, right? But like I said, we know that those that are not of the elect, they're going to take it. Right. We just pray and hope that we're the Lord's remnant, that we overcome this hour of temptation when it comes. Because, you know, as it tells us right here, I'm going to grab Revelation 3:10 real quick and I come back. Right. So bear with me. And it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. This is red letter Lord Yahushua speaking, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, right? I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, right? That's talking about when this devil make it mandatory, you got to take this chip. It said, which shall come upon all the world, right? That's why everybody worldwide is setting up their digital infrastructures in their countries, right? Because all of them are going to be on one accord, man. They're all going to bring in this MOTB chip, because ultimately all of these heathens, mainly Esau, but the heathens as well, they all want to bring in this new world order, man, right? That's what it's all about. Complete control, man. Right. It says, from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try, meaning to test them that dwell upon the earth, man. And we want to be of those that ultimately, you know, makes it through this hour of testing when it comes, man. Right. So back in Revelations 14, and I read verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man, right, or women, worship the beast and his image, right? This system, you love the ways of Babylon the Great. You love the philosophies of Esau, Edom. You love this world. You don't want to let it go for you tribes. Because if you love this place, America, man, you definitely going to take this chip, man. That's why the scriptures tells us to arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with the sword of destruction. And a lot of our people that ultimately want to, you know, hold on to this place, when this chip come and this devil tells them that they can't go to the store, they can't get food, and they can't get all of these resources that they get now unless they take it, you're going to have a lot of people bound down, man. Right? It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his charagma in his forehead or in his hand. Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the heavenly Father, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, his righteous anger. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, going into those nuclear missiles that's going to come upon this place, America, man. right? Right along with the laser beams of the chariots from our Lord Yahweh Shai and the heavenly host, man, right? That's going to be the judgment of the people that take this MOTB. You see, you're going to be destroyed, man. Over here in America, which is going to be the lake of fire, the second death, man, that it tells you about in Revelations chapter 21, right? It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Yeah. So like I said, you know, this is what's coming, man, right? This MOTB is around the corner, man. You see? So with that being said, Lord's willing, I pray this video be edifying to you brothers and you few sisters out there that may come across it. With that being said, we're going to end the video giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well and teach well while learning truth 100% according to the Bible. To the next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Shalom.